Marjorie Taylor Greene is a nationally recognized figure. She is known for her fiery rhetoric and unwavering support for former President Donald Trump. Greene's prominence within the Republican Party has grown significantly since her election to the House of Representatives in 2020. Her staunch conservative views and confrontational style have resonated with a segment of the GOP base, particularly those loyal to Trump. Greene's national profile is undeniable. She boasts a large and active social media following. She is a frequent guest on conservative news outlets. Greene is also a prolific fundraiser, drawing significant contributions from a nationwide network of donors. This strong base of support has emboldened Greene's political ambitions. She is openly considering a run for the U.S. Senate in 2026. However, Greene's rise has sparked concern within the GOP establishment. While her appeal to the party's base is evident, her ability to win a general election in a swing state like Georgia is less certain. Several GOP senators have publicly expressed reservations about Greene's potential candidacy. They fear that her history of controversial statements could jeopardize Republican chances of flipping the Senate seat in 2026. Greene's past embrace of conspiracy theories and inflammatory rhetoric has alienated moderate voters. These voters are crucial in a state like Georgia, which has trended increasingly purple in recent elections. Senators like Kevin Cramer and Tom Tillis have stressed the importance of nominating electable candidates. They argue that while ideological purity is important, it should not come at the expense of winning elections. They worry that Greene's nomination could result in a repeat of the 2022 midterms. In that election cycle, several controversial Trump-backed candidates struggled to attract support beyond the GOP base, ultimately costing Republicans key seats. Greene's supporters counter that her popularity among the Republican base makes her a formidable contender. They point to her strong fundraising numbers and digital reach as evidence of her broad appeal. They argue that her willingness to challenge the status quo and her outspoken defense of conservative values resonate with voters who feel ignored by the political establishment. Georgia's changing demographics and evolving political landscape add another layer of complexity to the GOP's dilemma. Once a reliably Republican stronghold, Georgia has become increasingly competitive in recent elections. This shift is driven in part by the state's growing diversity and the increasing urbanization of its population. Greene's strong support within her heavily Republican congressional district may not translate statewide. To win a general election in Georgia, a Republican candidate must appeal to a broader electorate. This includes moderate Republicans, independents, and suburban voters who are turned off by extreme rhetoric. The 2022 Senate race in Georgia highlighted the challenges facing Republican candidates in the state. Herschel Walker, a former football star endorsed by Trump, lost to incumbent Democrat Raphael Warnock. Walker's campaign was dogged by controversy and gaffes, which likely contributed to his defeat. The GOP is eager to avoid a repeat of this outcome in 2026. The Republican Party faces a delicate balancing act in the upcoming Georgia Senate race. On the one hand, the party must appeal to its base, which remains loyal to Trump and energized by candidates like Greene. On the other hand, the GOP must also make inroads with moderate and independent voters who will be crucial to victory in a general election. Governor Brian Kemp's decision not to seek the Senate seat adds another wrinkle to the race. Kemp, who won re-election by a comfortable margin in 2022, is seen as a more electable figure than Greene. His absence from the race could clear the way for Greene to secure the GOP nomination, but it may also make it more difficult for Republicans to win the general election. The GOP's strategy in Georgia will likely depend on several factors, including the national political environment, the quality of the Democratic candidate, and the ability of potential Republican contenders to consolidate support within the party. The outcome of the race will have significant implications for both parties as they vie for control of the Senate in 2026.